Thanks, Courtney.
So Blaine, what's new in sports?
Well, coming up in sports, we'll take a look at the CU-Arizona game tonight, and we have a piece on the long-standing debate of whether or not college athletes should be paid. Well, the much-anticipated rematch is finally here. Tonight, the CU men's basketball team hosts the 9th-ranked Arizona Wildcats. As most CU fans will remember, the refs waved off a buzzer-beating three by Sabatino Chen that would have given CU the upset of then third-ranked Arizona on January 3rd in Tucson. Replay review clearly showed that the ball left Chen's hand before time expired, but the shot was ruled no good, and they lost in overtime. Tonight, CU gets a second shot at the Cats, this time at home, where CU is 41-5 under Coach Tad Boyle. Well, last night the Nuggets were in action, and they played their final game before the All-Star break, and it ended a 4-game road trip. As you see, JaVale McGee throw down an alley-oop there, but Joe Johnson was the real story for Brooklyn, as he led a barrage of three-pointers, 16 for 27, in fact, in total, and Denver could just never get caught up as they tried to come back from 20 down in the third quarter. And then in the end, you'll see Chris Humphries, former Kim Kardashian husband, get the slam dunk there and put things away. And Brooklyn won that one by 16. It's true that some college athletes are just as well known as professional players, and in some cases even more popular. Danica Eilers takes a look at the controversial debate of how these college stars aren't reaping the same financial benefits as the pros.
This is Andre Robertson.
You talk about a rip through and a dunk right here. I mean, oh man.
If you know CU athletics, then you know he's the talk of the town. A player on the men's basketball team, Robertson is ranked 3rd nationally in rebounds. His athletic talent has made him a celebrity, so you might think he'd be rolling in the dough. But unlike professional athletes, student athletes don't get paid at all.
It's a business, world's not fair.
The men's basketball team alone makes over $2 million a year for the university. The grand total of revenue for all of CU athletics is over $57 million. This revenue comes from ticket sales, concessions, radio and TV royalties, public appearances, and even student fees. But student athletes who make a name for themselves and win the university big recognition can't even negotiate some form of compensation.
NFL and NBA players have a way to negotiate the profits that they make from the media. College student athletes lack this representation. However, these student athletes may be one step closer to receiving some sort of compensation.
In January, a federal judge in California dismissed a motion by the National Collegiate Athletic Association that attempted to prevent football and men's basketball players from legally pursuing a cut of live broadcast revenues. This lawsuit is similar to another one where UCLA basketball star Ed O'Bannon sued the NCAA in 2009 for using his likeness in commercials, video games, and television broadcasts without compensation. If these lawsuits are found in favor of the student athletes, then the NCAA may face liability amounting to billions of dollars. Robertson says that getting a salary would be nice.
It would help out a lot, just making things easier for the athlete, just not always, struggling and trying to make ends meet, as with the stipend we get each month.
In addition to stipends amounting to just over $1,000 monthly, student athletes also get a full scholarship, which includes their entire tuition, room and board, books, tutors, mentors, and the full complement of academic support.
That money does come back through the university, but it comes back and we spend it on support services for students, as opposed to coming back and we give each one of our athletes a check.
Despite CU's support for their athletes, Robertson wouldn't mind getting that check.
Can't really manage school, basketball, and a job at the same time. It'd be pretty hard to do it the whole year. So that's why you have those things to help you out. So I'll definitely say it's pretty tough to do it.
But not so tough that it would undermine their passions.
I think taking players getting actual contracts or a salary to play would take away from the beauty of the college game. So I think the best way to do it would be to compensate the players with more money in their stipend checks or something like that rather than giving them the salaries.
Many projections show universities making even more money off of star teams in the future. And with players getting little but scholarship compensation, it may be that as profits rise, players are going to want a bigger share. The hearing to determine the outcome of the lawsuit is currently set for June 20th. Danica Eilers, News Team Boulder.
Great piece there by Danica. Before we send you to break, we've got some great local plays out of the Here's Something You Don't See Every Day department. At Lewis Palmer High School in the Springs, home of CU's own basketball player Josh Scott, girls basketball player Anna Olsen launches the ball from the other end and doesn't quite have the strength to put it in, but gets an assist from the hardwood, and it goes in and it counts for 3, as you see there. And then at Metro State, Colorado Mines forward Trevor Wages gets a nice pass and throws it down and brings the backboard down with him and celebrates like he's the Hulk. And that's all I'm going to have for sports today. So how to wrap it up?
All right. Thanks, Blaine. After the break, Will Farrell has a new gig.
It all started in January 2013, and with more than 6,000 followers and counting, it isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Everyone is welcome to submit their confession on SurveyMonkey, and the admin account will post it to the Facebook wall. So each confession remains completely anonymous every step of the way. CU students have a lot to say, and they can look no further than their own laptops to confess it all. Students can tell the web what they wouldn't share with anyone else.
CU Confession is just a good way for people to voice out their, deepest and darkest secrets without, having the embarrassment of someone judging them for it.
Some visit the page just to get a quick laugh.
And it was just a funny thing to see, read something where you know that person and it's really embarrassing for them.
Whatever the reason, it's a big hit at our campus.
So Ashley, how is the university reacting to this?
So today we reached out to the student who is in charge of running this entire website. She's actually a CU Boulder sophomore herself, and she said the university hasn't yet contacted her about this page, even though there are illegal activities and behaviors that are being vented about on this website, but the university has yet to contact her, and she says that she's a little worried if they do because she would be really reluctant to take it down.
Everyone has an image in mind when we think of basketball players, but Blaine Robinson tells us how all teams aren't created equally.
We all know and recognize this basketball team. But what about this one? 16-year-old Chase Brink is a member of the Denver Rolling Nuggets, a wheelchair basketball team based in Lakewood. He was born with a spinal deformity and a mitochondrial disease that deteriorates and fatigues the muscles.
I've pretty much always been in a wheelchair. I was born with scoliosis. When I was 5, it got pretty bad, and my spine was twisted.
He has been on the team for almost 4 years and says it provides him an outlet to do something he loves. And one of his favorite things about being a Denver Rolling Nugget is getting to travel.
We also go to a bunch of different places, like went to Phoenix, Utah. We go all around the world to travel and play.
As you can see here, Chase is always at practice early to work on his game and get some extra shots up. He was even kind enough to let me use one of his chairs.
So I'm out here at the wheelchair basketball practice, and I wanted to see how difficult it was for myself. Chase plays for the Junior Rolling Nuggets, one of the 4 wheelchair teams, along with the Men's Denver Rolling Nuggets, Lady Rolling Nuggets, and the Prep Rolling Nuggets. The mission for them all? Provide an opportunity for both personal growth and physical fitness through community events, outreach programs, and of course, basketball competition. Despite the name similarities, there is no contractual relationship between the NBA's Denver Nuggets and the Rolling Nuggets. However, the Kroenke family who owns the Nuggets runs Kroenke Sports Charities and provides funding to the Rolling Nuggets and allows the use of a similar logo to represent them. Another thing I learned about this team is the variety of paths that has led them to bond by playing the sport.
When I first came, everybody was willing and very nice and involving me with everything. It's difficult sometimes, but you get used to it after a while.
Some members have been in a chair their entire lives, and others were once able-bodied, but now are confined to a chair. Their disabilities vary, but their passion for the game is the same. Blaine Robinson, News Team Boulder.